Okay, outside here I've got a little TV, which is nothing special, just a cheap thing. And what I wanted to do was get better sound, because the internal speakers aren't that good. So if you turn it up, you can hear it on its TV, but a bit rough. So what I did was installed a couple of bigger speakers up here and here on the wall, and I want to put the sound through them. Now the problem is I can't directly feed that from the TV, because the output from the headphone socket on the TV isn't enough to drive those speakers. So what I'm going to do is install an amplifier on the back of the TV to drive the speakers properly. So here are the speakers, one up there and one up there. And they just come into, now that I've installed it, a headphone socket type thing on the wall here. And the rest of the setup is just a Raspberry Pi powered from the PoE splitter there, going to the Raspberry Pi as a media player. And the TV itself is a 12 volt TV. And I'm going to use that 12 volts to also power the amplifier that I'll install around about here. So as I was saying, if I turn the TV up just from its internal speakers, it does get loud, but it's real scratchy and horrible. Now if I feed that directly to the speakers up on the wall, so just plug that into the headphones, and then speakers on the wall, they're going, but they're very quiet. Now even if I turn that up to full, I don't know if you can hear it through there, but there's really not much sound coming out here. So it sounds better quality, but you can hardly hear it compared to the TV. So what I'm going to do is boost that so we get the good quality sound through the speakers at a decent volume. Now the amp that I've got is a little thing called Leapy, L-E-P-Y, just a no-name brand on the cheap, costs less than 20 bucks online. So I'll open this up and see what we got here. That is it. Just a little amplifier there. I'll just feed it the inputs from the headphone socket out of the TV and get the speaker outputs. And pretty simple, just a volume which I'll set, and I'll still be able to use the volume on the remote control, so I won't have to get up and mess with an external amp volume. It also runs off 12 volts, which is why I'm going to run it off that same adapter that the TV is using. So there's a little amp, weighs nothing, costs nothing, and should do the job. Okay, I'm here at the back of the TV, and what I've done is I've made a little adapter to accept the DC plug and give it two outputs, basically a double adapter. So the 12 volt out of the adapter, I've now got two. So one's going to feed the TV as normal, and the other is going to feed the amplifier. So now I can power the amp off the same power supply. The other cable that I've made up is the audio cable to feed the speakers. So I've just put a stereo plug on one end, which goes into the outlet, goes up to the speakers, and on the speaker cable end, if you can see this, I've just put a heat shrink around the cable so I know which is positive and negative and which is left and right. Okay, so the negatives go to the same pin on the plug up there. So when I put it in the amp, I just go left, see, pretty standard, left in, right in. So the audio input in, which of course goes from the headphone output, and the only thing that's left is the power. So put that there. There's the speakers making a bit of a click as I turn it on. Now I'll test this out and see how it goes. Alright, now it's all just hanging here temporarily, but I'll give a demo. I can already hear it's better, but even on volume 6 it's much better. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's now driving the speakers properly. That's good. Now I'll neaten all this cable work up, but I'm going to pull the back of the TV off to mount the amplifier to it. So that'll take a bit of time, and the rest will just be cable ties to make it all neat and tidy. Okay, here's what I've done with the TV. I've opened it up, and where the DVD player was, I've just ripped it out. So I've got some space behind here. And I've drilled 4 holes where the amplifier is going to be, and I'm just going to use some cable ties and put them through there to secure it to the TV. Just put the bottom one through, just nice and loose to start with, to put them in position. Okay, sort of ready. And now what I'll do is I'll put this in between there because it can fit in nicely. Now that that's in place, just tighten them up. Okay, and what I've got is an amplifier mounted there. So I'll just trim these on the back here. And once I put the TV back together, that'll be it. And here it is all finished. So I've got the amp mounted to the TV, all the cables are neatly in there, and it just feeds the speakers through that socket there. Alright, there it is. I've got sound from the TV to the speakers now through an amplifier, and I can still control the volume with the TV's remote control. That sounds good.